very happy new year to all of you. May we have less of disruptions and loads of new and innovative stuffs coming up this year. I wish all your dreams come true. So this is the first video of 2022 and I'm going to discuss and show you an amazing sketching and illustration app that will blow your mind away. In this video, I am going to demonstrate an unique app by the name Mental Canvas, originally created to aid landscape designers and architects to showcase a rough fly-through of their designs to their clients. Now, Mental Canvas has come a long way. It has become almost all artists' muse if they want to make their artwork live and interactive. This video is not a sponsored video, hence whatever good words I talk about this app will be coming directly from heart. I will also take you through all the tools and interface of the app and will show you how easily you can create scenes in 3D space and make your camera fly through the 3D space, creating impeccable living and breathing art. I will also leave some comments to improve the app, but before we deep dive, kindly like, share and comment on the video, and if you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get all our upcoming updates. So without much ado, let's get started. So as I open the Mental Canvas app, if you click on this icon of Mental Canvas, you see that it is in a very preliminary versions of Mental Canvas, which is 1.0.20220, and you have to log in through your whatever Gmail login that you have logged in as the app when you have purchased from the App Store. It takes that login, and if you see, the plan is free promo plan. So currently, since you are just starting, you can go ahead with the promo plan. The best part of Mental Canvas is that every tool is there for free to use. Okay, there is no restriction at all, and that's the best part of Mental Canvas, where each and every artist in the artist community or the animators in the animation community, they are going gung-ho about Mental Canvas. That is the only reason that it is no holds barred. Everything is free for you, and you can only have to pay if you are really serious about using this tool for the animation purpose, for your architectural walkthrough purpose. At a later stage, when you are really using it as a professional tool, you can go for their subscription plan. There's a monthly subscription plan, yearly subscription plan, then you can always go with that. So when I open this thing, if you see, it is a blank slate, and like any other tool, they have over here canvases, then they have layers. So how the entire thing happens? So there is by default one canvas laid out, and if you see in the layer, there are foreground, background, and there is an option to bring images inside Mental Canvas. Okay, and like any other Photoshop tool or Illustrator tool or whatever tools you use, even Adobe Animate, you use, there are a lot of layers over here. This is the layer, this is the icon for your hiding a particular layer, and this is the icon to show the particular layer. And over here, this is the icon to hide a particular canvas, this is the icon to show a particular canvas, and this is again bringing the registration box to the center. Okay, over here at the bottom of the bar, you see there is bookmarks. This is extremely important for your Mental Canvas to play an animation. Okay, so over here the bookmarks has 3 tabs. Okay, the timeline tab, the visibility tab, and the settings tab. By default is a widescreen HDTV 16:9 ratio, which is the widescreen view, but you can also change it to portrait. And also if you click over here, you can see there are square, standard television or SD, classic iPhone, ultra widescreen. All these particular resolutions are available, but for the time being I will just keep it to widescreen HDTV, high definition TV, and which is 16:9 ratio. Show boundaries give you the extension, the boundary within which your animation will play. Okay, anything beyond the boundary goes out of your sight. Okay, simple. Over there at the top you have various other tools. If you want an image to be captured, you can use this camera icon at any point of time, and you can take images over there. You can also, this is redo and undo. So this is redo, this is undo. Over here you have this selection tool where you can select various portion of the artwork that you make. Okay, and this is the drawing tool, which we will use a lot, but drawing tool only activates when you click on this brush icon over here. This is a drawing tool, and just beside it you have the eraser tool to erase unwanted drawings that you have done. The fill tool, which is used to fill a particular drawing area. Okay, and this is the colors that is readily available over here. You can also, these are the swatches that has been given over here. You can go to customs and you can select your image, your colors as well from here. Okay, great. So now what are the other tools that we have? This is a projection tool, okay, which gives the depth of the layers, which I will come when I will do an animation over here. You will see how this has been used. This is a hinge tool where you can actually rotate a particular layer as per the hinge, and it will help you in an animation. So without much ado, let me first start with a simple sketch, and I will show you how this can be made into a fantastic animation. So say for example, I will first create a seashore sort of thing. Okay, so I create this particular scenery, and see everything has come in the foreground in the same layer. Now the first thing that we need to do is I will just create the first snapshot from this by clicking on this camera icon. What it happens that wherever I go, wherever I move, it will bring this thing to the first snapshot that I have created. Okay, so I'm not going for filling up the design or filling up the colors and all these things, which you can always do later. But for the first time, I want to show you how you can first layer this thing one after another. For doing that, I will click on this brush icon, and I will have to create the selection icon over here. And now I will first select this clouds. Okay, and once I do the clouds, I have to click on this projection tool, and see, as soon as I click on the projection tool, you can see that over here you can see the camera, and all the layers are in the same particular same view, or the are looking like a flat image in the camera. So for the first thing, what we have to do to create the depth, I will just have to drag this thing, the pane, from bottom to top. As I drag it, you see that the clouds are going back, much back from the foreground graphics. Okay, and it creates a depth over there. Okay, I click, once I am happy with the distance, I will click on the tick icon or the correct icon in the right hand side. Okay, and if you see, now the best part is that when I click on this camera icon, I will see that the clouds has been created as a separate canvas over there. Okay, now I have to segregate the last layer of the this sea as a separate layer. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll click on the brush, and I will again go to the selection tool. Now with our selection tool on and the paint selection over here, I will gently click and drag over these lines. Okay, only those lines, nothing more, nothing less. And then again I will go and click on this projection tool and drag my mouse a little bit so that it goes to the back. Okay, okay, and when I am satisfied, I will click on the tick icon and bring it. Now is the next layer. Very simple. I will drag my mouse like this so that all these scenes that I want to have in this particular layer to come as one layer or one layer of the canvas. Okay, I will take this thing also, lovely, and I will leave it like that. Now I will click again on the projection tool and again drag this mouse so that it goes a little back. Okay, and once I am satisfied, I have taken that. Now the next layer I will take till this, lovely, and press on the and move it a little bit, say okay. Now this particular layer, what I will do, I will just select these portions of the drawing only this portion of the drawing, and again take it a little back. Now what we will do, we will just create this particular layer this, and I will go and now select this particular layer. So if you have unknowingly selected some other layer or some other portion of the drawing, you can always deselect it. Now again selecting the select tool, I will just go on selecting these pieces. Be extra careful that I should not select something which is not part of this layer. Okay, I will select these things also, these lines which is lying flat. Okay, only these portions of the line. Okay, and what I will do this time, I will click on the hinge. Okay, once I click on the hinge, you will see the hinge axis over here, but I don't want the hinge axis to be like this. I want the hinge axis to be laid to the ground. Okay, once I click on this axis, now I can rotate this thing like this or like this. Okay, so you can always check that which angle it is. Okay, so that this particular screen is just on the floor. Okay, once I'm satisfied, I click on the tick, and now again selecting the tree now. And I click on the projection mapping tool and bring it a bit to the front. Okay, till it reaches this grass area. Okay, now I select this sand castle, the bucket, the ball, these things, and again I will just bring them the front. So let us see where I can bring them. Perfect. Okay, and this boat, last part of it, select this and click on the projection mapping, bring it to the front. So now we are all done. So if you see, all of these things are on separate layers. Okay, and now what happens, see the magic, when I click on this screen, you see that all these things are in fantastic layer driven, and they are giving the idea of depth. Okay, so now let us do some animation. I will first click on my first screen, which brings it back to the first snapshot that I have taken. Now I will move the screen a little bit to the right, to the left, sorry, and I take the second snapshot. Now I again bring it to the horizontal position and take another snapshot. I will take it to the right and take another snapshot. I bring it back to the central position, and now with pinch and zoom I can actually zoom the screen wherever I want. I take another snapshot. I move again. I take another snapshot. I move further more till the lighthouse, and I can take a snapshot. And then I move back, or I zoom out everything and make it small where I was actually started, and take another snapshot. Okay, now this is a play icon. When I click on this icon, see the magic what happens. Wow, your mundane sketch has now turned into a three-dimensional art piece. Isn't it amazing? That is the easiest way how you can turn your any animation, whether it in illustration done on digital media, or you can get your images scanned, and then you can also segregate those images as layers in your mental canvas, and then you can animate them the way we did it. I click on the bookmark once again and see how the things we can manipulate to certain extent. Okay, so say for example, say when the animation is happening, say in this screen, I don't want the boat to be there, so I just can click on the boat canvas over here and I can just turn it off in this particular screen. But if you see from the other screens, the boat also vanishes, so I have to bring them back. But over here I cannot manipulate the entire thing in this timeline mode. It has to be done in the visibility mode. So I will just show you how this animation happens, because if I click on that timeline mode and I turn a particular layer off or on, it totally gets off from rest of the screens as well. So let us just click on visibility over here, and the same screen, say for example in this particular screen I don't want the boat to be there, so I have to click the eye off over here and see, and I have to update this particular. Okay, before these things, if you see, all of them have again got off, so we have to turn this thing on, the custom visibility, and only update this one, this particular screen. So in these screens the boat is not there. In this screen also I don't want the boat to be there, so I turn it off, and we have to refresh this. Don't click on this, refresh this. Okay, rest of the things you don't require. Again in this screen I need the boat to come, it is already there. So now if I turn everything down so that I can see the screen, and over here you can see it is there, it is still there, it is still there. Now it goes off, the transparency is gone. So if you also want that initially this particular light house wouldn't be visible, and then later on when you are zooming in you want to make the light house visible, you can also do the thing. So it's extremely simple in that way. You just need to turn off or turn on the canvas based on your layer visibility, okay, as per time. The settings show boundaries. If you show the boundaries, see it shows the boundary, and when you play it shows wherever, in which layers these particular things are working. This is that simple. And now if you really want to color, you can definitely go and color the things. How you will do a color, say for example I just want to do the color of this boat. I click on the boat canvas and I click on a new layer and I bring this layer down, okay, and then forget everything, just close everything down. You don't require the animation panel at this point of time, you just turn it off, okay, and just go to the pen tool, select a brown color for the boat. Remember you are in the bottom layer, not in the same layer, and you go on coloring. You can increase or decrease your brush size as we do for other softwares, and you can just go on coloring the stuff, okay, like this, okay, lovely. Okay, take a lighter brown, and you can also color like this. I'm not worrying too much about the colors spilling over the rest of the colors and all this, the lines and all these things, because we are doing a very rough drawing based on our requirement as a tutorial, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, your boat is done. And again, if you click on this screen and see all the screens, the boat has taken the brown color. Lovely, isn't it? And the best part, if you see in any of the screens, the sand area is actually at lying down. It is not standing like rest of the screens. Okay, so let us try to color the other part of the screen and see how it looks. So let us click on the sand castle screen and let us color it. See, the common mistake that most of us do is that we start coloring in the same layer. It's not required. I will just add one particular layer, bring this layer down, and I can very well color this area. Okay, you can even color the ball. Color the spade in this way, and even I can color the bucket over here. Okay, I can also go to this sand layer and I can color the sand so that just keep this thing very rough. Okay. Lovely. Now I'll go to this layer and I will color this. Okay. One thing, notice that irrespective of which layer, top or bottom they are taking the orientation or the depth of what you have set in the projection mapping, in the projection area. Okay, always go back to this shape and you can complete the colors over here. Some colors just lying there. Okay, to complete these colors. Okay, you can see there is a white gap that is there. To complete it till that gap goes. Okay, you can go back to the screen. You can at any point of time bring yourself in the Lovely. See, and now we can also color the mountain over there, the small island. We'll not call it a mountain, but small island over there. You can just color it, say brown. See, again I'm doing a mistake. Just color this mountain or the island, and the green top island. Okay, that's it, and we are done. We can also go back to your cloud layer and create one layer at the back, and take a softer brush over here and take a sky blue color. You can take this blue color and opacity, you can remove the opacity or take the opacity down, and you can just brush some colors over there. I'm doing it extremely roughly, but that is the way you can do the stuff. See, now your entire, you can also give different colors to different layer of your sea. You can do that. You can just need to just color them as it requires. That's it. You just need to now play it. Lovely, isn't it? Your animation is absolutely ready. So that's all you need to know to create your own masterpiece. This is a very crude animation, very crude sketch that we have done over here. But if you go to Mental Canvas's Instagram page, you will see some of my art also over there, and there are other amazing Mental Canvas animation done by eminent artists, eminent animators all over the globe. So this is just the beginning. It is just the basic building blocks for you to start with, but sky is the limit. Even as I told you, you can create your entire screen, entire scene inside Procreate or Photoshop or any illustrating software, and bring the images as transparent PNGs as different layers. Take those images in different canvases, give them depth, and you can make your fly through happen within your already existing artwork. That's all. I really thank you for taking your time to see this tutorial, being with me and going through this gibberish, very childish illustration over here. But that's many things that we can do through Mental Canvas. We can do amazing illustrations, as I'm always telling. We can create masterpieces also with different shades, with different screens. If you really want to see what Mental Canvas can do, you can also pop in my Instagram profile which goes as @Tridip Ghosh, and you can also see various mental canvas animation that I have created in my profile as well. Okay, that's it. So that's all, folks. If you are inspired by this app, create your own fly-throughs and share with me. You can also share on Mental Canvas's Instagram channel. Till we meet again with a new video next week, goodbye and God bless.